I want to talk to you about the concept of no man left behind. We've all seen the old war movies where some man is left out on the combat field and somebody runs out and saves him and brings him back to safety. And there's a very humane part of us that likes to tell that story, I guess, or feel good about us as humans. There's also just a practical part of this, okay? If you're in a state of war and you are fighting the enemy and you have a dozen men out in the jungle and they all become separated and isolated, it's an easy way to just pick them off or throw them into depression or get them wounded and have no resource to get them any help. So it's an important strategy in war times to make sure that we group together, we work together, we help each other. This story with Kash Jackson is just got me on edge. I keep putting off saying stuff because it's just like emotionally draining. But something has to be said. And the thing with the Kash Jackson case that people need to understand is that there are thousands and thousands of us fighting the family court system. But the reason that we lose those battles is because there's always the he said, she said. Well, he must be a drug user, he must be an alcoholic, he must beat his wife, she must have mental health issues. There's always some like easy way to dismiss these people's arguments with not getting justice within the family court system. The Kash Jackson case is by far one of the clearest cases where you can look at the judges in the case and state these people are kidnapping this person's children, and there's no other way to write the story. Anybody that knows what's going on in this case knows that Kash spent a week. Okay, this is family court. You know, we've sat through 2-hour or 4-hour family court sessions. This guy went to court for a week to defend himself, to be on the defensive and to say, I want my kids back. I have done nothing wrong. They fired stuff at him for a week and he refuted everything. They had not a single piece of evidence at the end of 1 week to show that this guy should not have access to his children. Okay, at the end of that week, Kash still has zero access to his children. Zero access. This pretty much means that the judges in this case are kidnapping Kash's children. There's not a single adult on the planet that can give you any other assessment other than the fact that Lake County, Illinois is in violation of all human ethical code, constitutional code, whatever code you want to find, is just kidnapping his children. Kidnapping them. Okay, so now Kash has just spent 3 weeks in jail where they try to they're trying to tell us that he's like a threat to these judges. He lives 1,500 miles away, and they claim that he made some comment somewhere to threaten these judges. These judges need to piss off. These judges are criminals. Somebody within the system needs to go after these judges and say, get Kash Jackson's children back. get Kash out of prison and get him his kids. I'm just beside myself that things like this exist. You live in a country right now where the court systems are set up with zero evidence. They can take your children away and lock you up in prison, and nobody is going to do a damn thing about it. People need to get on the phones. They need to call the governor. They need to call the sheriff. They need to call whoever needs to be called. They need to sign petitions. They need to send $10 to his mother. Okay, find 1,000 people and send these people $10. Our government can pass laws for trillions of dollars. We have no idea where $1 trillion goes. Nobody can tell you. We can't tell you where the trillion went. Oh well, there's $1 trillion. We can come up with a few $1,000s to help get an innocent man out of jail. This guy's done nothing wrong. Nobody's going to fly with this story. Nobody's going to say anything. They're going to let him rot in prison. It's insane. The whole system's insane. The people in control are insane. And the apathetic Americans that are running around with their heads in the cloud are insane. I'm sorry if I'm coming off in a negative light on this thing. The people in the family court reform movement are fighting for your rights to your children. You need to understand this. These courts are set up to take your kids away whenever they feel like it. CPS, 300 kids a day go missing from homes where no maltreatment occurred. This is an ABA stat from an ABA report. They know it's occurring. This whole Epstein thing that's going on, if you believe that this is like a dozen girls or a dozen politicians involved, you are clueless. Because this is the way the country operates. The country operates with, in the shadows, these people are all maneuvering kids around, and the media doesn't say a thing. Okay, back to Kash. Anything you can do to help this guy out. If you know somebody, if you want to send a few dollars, if you're brave enough to make a phone call to somebody like the ACLU or the FBI that's basically going to just ignore you. Maybe if we call the phone lines more than once, they'll actually like consider that, hey, maybe this guy's getting screwed over. I apologize again for my irate take on this, but it's that or just like break down and cry because these people matter to us, and it's just emotionally draining. And Kash is an important part of our movement, and I don't care who's right or wrong in this damn issue. We're going to go out in the field, and no man is left behind. Thanks for your time.